All right, good morning and welcome to week 3 of agricultural science. In this week, one of the topic or the main topic that we are going to look at would be agricultural enterprises. And what you should know or what you should bear in mind is that in agriculture or in farming, it's actually a form of business that a farmer is engaged in. So you will have to be familiar with some business terms that are used in agriculture. Agricultural enterprises, so that's the topic again. And before we even go further, what you need to understand is the definition of the word farm. So the farm is considered as an economic unit. Econ uh, e Economic unit, this is when you hear the word economic, it has to do with making profit or doing a business in order to make a profit. So an explanation is given here. It is an economic unit that is engaged in the production and sale of agricultural produce for maximum profit. And obviously, if you're going to have a farm and you're going to grow crops or you're going to realize stock, you're going to do it to make the most amount of profit. So farms often consist of different sections, with each section focused on one crop, one particular crop, a livestock, or an activity. And we're really talking about very large farms. Each section of that farm is known as agricultural enterprise. So take, for example, a dairy farm, and we have two diagrams on the right. On the upper right, we may be having a section, we may have a section on the farm, and that section is used to feed the cattle, and another section of the farm is used to extract milk from the cattle. So each one of them is referred to as an agricultural enterprise. In the first section, you have workers who are going to ensure that the animals receive proper nutrients. And in the second enterprise, where they're producing milk, another set of farmers, they will specialize in extracting the milk from the cattle. Production. Well, production is one of the cycle or one of the main part of agricultural enterprise. And the main purpose of production is to satisfy man's needs and wants, the things that we need to survive with. An increase in volume of production means that more wealth is being created. Therefore, if a farmer owns a larger plot of land and they're engaged in more agricultural activity, that means the volume of production will be larger. The amount of things that they produce will be much more. And if they produce more, they will have more to sell. And the wealth that they create will be greater as well. So more wealth will mean that improved standard of living. And when we talk about improved standard of living, we mean that individuals will have more money to spend to buy more different things that they can enjoy their life with. Types of production, there are two main types. There are two types of production. One is called primary production. In primary production, the goods or raw materials are what is being produced initially. So that's referred to as primary production, is what you produce at the first stage. For example, you grow a crop, you grow pineapples, what you produce is pineapple. Sugarcane, you get the sugarcane, the stem, or coconut, that's primary production. And we can use these things. We can consume the pineapple, we can eat the pineapple, we can eat the cane, we can use the coconut water. So all of that would refer to as a primary level of production. And then we have secondary production. Secondary production involves the processing of these raw materials. So the raw materials that you have from primary production, you can process them into something that is more valuable in terms of its worth, monetary worth. Example, pineapple, you can process the pineapple into jams. So the primary product here, or the primary production, is when you produce the pineapple, and then the secondary production is when you produce the jam using the pineapple. Or we can use sugarcane, and sugarcane, we can produce sugar from sugarcane. Apart from sugar, we can get things like ethanol. We can produce ethanol using sugarcane. So that's another example of secondary production. We can even put, instead of from coconut, we can get coconut oil. We can make coconut oil from coconut, and the coconut oil will be a secondary product. So production, what does it involve? It involves goods and services. There are two things that are involved in production. One is goods and the other would be services. So in terms of goods, we have, we can categorize these goods into different levels. So we have capital goods, and this refers to the assets, or this refers to the things that are found on the land, on the farmland. For example, the tractors that the farmer may own, the herd of cattle that they own, or whatever other machines that they have. These are referred to as capital goods. And then we have consumable goods, and these are the food items. Consumable goods, as in the word suggests, consumable, what they can use, what they can consume and use up. You can't really use up the tractor very easily. And then we have services, as I mentioned. So production involves goods and services. And for the services, we have commercial services, example, agri-supply store. And that is where farmers will go and they will purchase the farm equipment that they need. They will purchase the chemicals, the pesticides and so forth that they need, and the fertilizers. They will go to the agri-supply store. So that's a commercial service. And then we have livestock depot. And livestock depot will be places that will sell things like broilers that farmers will go and purchase. And then we have technical services. Here we have extension officers. These extension officers will visit the farms, they will visit farmers, and they will provide information that they would need. It may also involve technical persons from different organizations going on to the farm and diagnosing certain diseases that are affecting the plants or affecting the livestock that the farmer is rearing. And then we have professional services where we have agricultural consultants who will guide farmers on the investment that they're making. And then we have veterinarians. They will also provide more professional service to farmers. Marketing, marketing helps to provide a link between production and consumption, meaning that from the area where it is produced to where it is consumed, the gap, what fills that gap is marketing. Large sum of money is involved in marketing. Persons will spend a lot of money to advertise the product that they have for sale. And in marketing, we have the middleman, and the middleman here is referring to a person who is between the consumers and the producers. So if someone is selling the jam, for example, the person will not be selling the pineapple jam to the individuals, to the consumers directly. So there's a middleman, and that middle person will be buying it from the producers and then will be selling it to the consumers. So under the middlemen, we have wholesalers, or we refer to them as merchants. So they will buy the products from the producers in large quantity. And then also we have processors. The processors, perhaps, for example, let's take sugar cane, for example. The processors, they will purchase the sugar cane from the persons cultivating sugar, from the persons cultivating sugar cane, and then they will process the sugar cane into sugar, or they may process it into ethanol or any other byproduct or any other secondary product. And then finally, we have the retailers. So the retailers will purchase from the wholesalers and they will sell directly to the consumers. And finally, what we will be looking at here is problems of the distributions of goods. And some of the problems that may be encountered by farmers will be inadequate transport service. Perhaps the roadway is very bad, so it will be very expensive or difficult for the producers to transport the goods so that it reaches the consumers. Poor storage facility. Some products require cold storage, and that's quite expensive, so it might not be easy for small farmers especially to afford those type of storage facility that is needed. Inefficient distribution system. There isn't a proper channel to distribute the items, so the producers may produce large quantity, but if there are not enough wholesalers and retailers to distribute the produce that they are producing, well, then you will have a problem there. So ways to improve marketing, we have to have better roads so that we can transport the goods, and we need availability of loans, so farmers can purchase better machines, equipment, so that they can process whatever raw material they have. They may want to package them. So, and also high import tax. Why do we have high import tax as a way to improve marketing? Well, then if we have very low import tax, it means persons will import the same products that we're selling in Guyana. So if we have, take for example, we have pineapple jam. If there's low import tax, we can import the pineapple jam and sell it at a very low cost in Guyana. And we may end up and sell it at an even lower cost than those pineapple jam that is produced right here in Guyana. So by putting a high import tax, it will prevent persons from importing foreign products into Guyana and will allow the local products to be sold mostly on our market. Good. So that brings us to the end of this section where we looked at agricultural enterprise. If you have any questions regarding what I discussed in this lesson, please feel free to send me a message and ask that question that you have on your mind. Until next lesson, I wish you all the best.